Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a Legacy video every Friday. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by joining the Patreon. Here you can gain access to a continuously updated sideboard guide and primer on Legacy Doomsday, as well as being able to send private messages. You can join the Patreon by clicking the link in the video description or going to patreon.com/NebelShootMTG. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another Legacy video. Oops. And yeah, if in case I sound weird, it's because I've got a bit of a head cold, so I apologize for that. Today I am taking my weapon of choice currently, the Dimir Turbo Doomsday with the Barrowwolf pivot, out for a spin. I was persuaded to try out a copy of Cling to Dust in the main deck, and this replaces the fourth copy of Ponder, which might seem sacrilegious, but it has actually so far been pretty interesting and I think pretty good. So basically, this gives you utility versus graveyard strategies in game one. It allows you some sort of card advantage power in if the game ever goes to like the mid or the late game. And then also it randomly lets you utilize your basic swamp or like multiple dark rituals. Like it has come up where I have had the Lineside Diamond in my hand, a Cling to Dust, a Doomsday, and 2 copies of Dark Ritual, and then that was a win. So that's also something. Giving up on the fourth Ponder, I think, is okay. I think, like, because we have the 4 personal tutors and Doomsday is what we're most often digging for, it is acceptable, if not ideal, to go down to 3 Ponders. And what else? Yeah, I'm loving Emrakul. Like, I am spanking control mages all the time with Emrakul and Sheldog Isle, so really happy with that. And that I have seen sort of an uptick in Tundra decks, probably mostly Nadu, but also Beanstalk and Jeskai. So I think this tech is justifiable. All right, off to a league. All right, round number 1 on the draw here. I'm going to keep this hand. It can go turn 2 Doomsday. The Undercity Sewers is a little bit awkward. I think if I draw another land, I will go for Personal Tutor, and if not, then I'll probably play Undercity Sewers. But it remains to be seen what this Misty Rainforest opponent is up to. Alright, I think I'll just Surveil here. Ugh. Here's where there's an opportunity cost to these Surveil lands. I don't want to draw the second Dark Ritual, but I also don't want to tip my opponent off that I am a Dark Ritual deck, and B, that I probably have a Dark Ritual, or at least have no use for it. But I think that all that information is still probably worth less than what it is worth to not draw the second ritual, so I'm going to put that in the graveyard. It's the Undercity Sewers Mirror. The Pennywise the Clown Mirror. And they like what they found. Okay. Another Sewers. Okay. Trip Sewers. Okay, so this is Dimir Reanimator. Interesting. Brainstorm. Okay, I'm going to Brainstorm, and then I'm going to cast Personal Tutor. Ooh, Cling to Dust. Maybe I won't cast Personal Tutor. Let's get rid of one of these Dark Rituals and a Ponder. So they surveilled away Reanimate, so they have Reanimate. I don't know, like, advance my own plan, or I think I'm going to pass here. Maybe I'm too much of a control mage at heart. I don't know, but like, I really hope they entomb here. They do. Okay. So this is not unbeatable for them, this Cling to Dust, but we do have like Cling to Dust and Force of Will and a Daze. So hopefully, yeah, I think the best thing they could do right now is probably Thoughtseize me, so I hope they don't do that. Obviously, Cling to Dust plays into Daze, but that's where the rest of this counter magic is hopefully gonna like put in some work. Okay. You have wastelanded my undercity sewers. Reanimate. 4 cards left over there. So if they have both a Daze and a Force of Will, then they get to win, and if not, then I get to win this exchange. Cling to Dust, Eurotraxa. They brainstorm. Okay. I'm going to let that happen because now my Daze is a hard counter. I thought for a second about dazing that, but I don't think I need to do that. They daze. I daze. Alright. Atraxa has been clung to dust. And we get our turn. Force Will. I think I'm actually going to ponder here because I don't want to just be completely dead to another wasteland if I can avoid it. And hey, look at that. We get it all. Alright. There's Polluted Delta. And go. There's Sewers is here. Ha! Get out of here. Tamio, okay. Yeah, they just surveilled the Archon, but it looks like they didn't have another reanimation spell. Okay. Do I think they have another Daze is the question. They didn't before. Here's Dark Ritual, and here's Doomsday. I think I'm not gonna randomly lose to some shit here to Daze. So I am just gonna make the safe pile that just wins deterministically next turn through Cavern of Souls. I say that there are ways they could break that up, but yeah. So we have to be mindful about Wasteland here, but they can only Wasteland one land, and then we can put Cavern of Souls on top of Thassa, and that way the second Edge of Autumn is guaranteed to have something to do here. So it's Thassa on the bottom, then Cavern of Souls, then the Cyclers. And yeah, what I mean is like if they Thoughtseize me and that and we can't counter it or we choose not to, then it's a little bit awkward. I don't want to start like cycling Edge of Autumns on their turn because that loses me my lands. It's funny. I don't even know that I lose to that I would counter a reanimation on the Archon. All right, they crack a clue here. Yeah, because like if they reanimate Archon, I just discard my Force of Will. I go to 7. They draw 1 card, so it's like exchange-wise, it's probably still in my favor or in my interest to counter it, but I'm not sure. All right, so like main deck, Stifle or Consign a Memory plus a Force of Will wins here. For them, I mean. We name Wizard. We might as well cycle it off of the Cavern and leave the Underground Sea in play to like signal a Daze. Alright, they concede. Sweet. Alright, well, Cling to Dust came in clutch there. And here we pivot. Pivot, pivot, pivot. And I think we go the full pivot since this is Reanimator. So I think versus like Dimir Tempo or Blue-Red Cutter, I probably don't side in the Force of Negations and the anti-graveyard stuff, and I probably keep in Doomsday. But I think here I actually do want to board out the Doomsday. Okay, get rid of the LED, get rid of Jace, get rid of Consign. So that takes us down to 21 blue cards. So still okay. I think I almost like Sheldog Isle could almost be a thing here just as another land in case they go heavy on Wastelands. I think they only play 3 Wastelands though. No, I think I'll leave the Sheldog Isle in the sideboard. I'm keeping in the Street Wraiths and the Thassa because Thassa's a blue card. Street Wraiths they can actually like matter on the board as a 3/4 Swamp Walker, unblockable, on fatal pushable. But also there's just like card advantage with Barrowgoyf, so I will keep this hand and hope not to get Thoughtseized. If I get my turn without them having Thoughtseized me, or I would say just that's it, the Thoughtseize, then I'm feeling pretty good. They found 6 they like. Tameo, okay. Long Goodbye can answer Tameo, but obviously the clues are gonna matter. And I will float the land and pass. Ponder, okay. No Brainstorm. If I can find like if my draw step or the Surveil here gives me Cavern of Souls or Lotus Petal or another Dark Ritual, I would be all about making Barrogoyf next turn. I really want to be able to protect Barrogoyf with Flusterstorm, not just from a counterspell, but from like removal. Okay, Thassa's Oracle can go. Another Barrogoyf. Alright, I think I will try and push this Barrogoyf playline before they like get Wasteland going. Force of Will plus a Daze gets me here. I can't counter both of those, like or rather, like Force and then I fluster, and I'm now locked to lose to a Daze. But there's the Force and pitches Murktide. All right, now I'm putting my guards down. No, not only will I lose to a Daze here, but I am also dead to them having their combo. But I think the potential upside is worth it here. There was a big pause on the last copy of Flusterstorm. Okay, I thought there was a Daze coming, but no. All right. Uh-oh. Is this Entomb? No, it's just a Surveil in my main phase. They like what they saw. Okay. Might mean they just have a removal spell, or it might mean they have the combo. I'm less concerned about a removal spell because they just showed us they didn't have the Daze. So I think I'm pretty free to play my second Barrogoyf next turn if I should feel like it. They did not attack. Interesting. Ooh, they also don't wasteland me. What's going on here? Alright, well, I mean, this changes things. I don't like they're signaling that they might have Brainstorm here, right? So they want to block and then Brainstorm. But I have multiple ways to beat that. Okay, here comes Tameo. So they could have 2 Brainstorms here. I'm just gonna Long Goodbye her right now. If they have the second Brainstorm, I can fluster that. Alright, Tameo's gone. Okay, so they're cracking a clue before the Brainstorm resolves. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Get a card deeper. It does mean that my Underground Sea survives into their turn, which I'm kind of happy with. Alright, so passing here. They wasteland my tapped source here, which I'm very thrilled about. Because it makes my Flusterstorm live all through this. Okay, sweet. So we will head to the grinder here. Alright, with the Barrogoyf trigger on the stack, I'm going to cast Brainstorm here. If they have Bowmasters, I think they would have cast it as a blocker, but you never know. But in either case, I think I'm pretty happy with this play. This guarantee is if Brainstorm resolves, this guarantees that I hit because I'm going to put Barrogoyf in the graveyard or in the on top of the deck. You know what I mean? If this is Force of Negation, I'm dazing that so fast. Yes, I love the turn 4 days here. That also guarantees a land drop. Okay, but I think I'm gonna lose this Underground Sea. Maybe I'd rather lose the fetch land. No, because we can surveil. All right, putting back Barrogoyf and Underground Sea. I will use this Barrogoyf. Ooh, there's also Shieldred. Oh, this is What do I bring back here? The Shieldred is pretty far away from being castable. Okay, they concede. I was gonna say like it's also a consideration. What do we leave in the graveyard for their reanimation spells? And them ever resolving Shieldred is pretty horrifying. But luckily that didn't come up, and we take the game and the match. All right, on to round number 2. All right, on the play for round number 2. Yeah, I guess let's keep this hand. And I'll lead on Undercity Sewers here. Personal tutor. Oh, again. I think maybe I just keep this on top actually, because if they do Thoughtseize me here and take Doomsday, then getting the personal tutor is nice. And if they don't, then I can choose to consider it away. Oh, okay, I guess not. Okay. Now I really wish it wasn't the top of my deck, but hey. Alright. Pass the turn. Let's hope we don't get Blood Moon here, or... Wasteland, really? What deck is this? Oh, it's Eldrazi, sure. Alright, well, I mean, I can't play around Wasteland. I'm just gonna surveil and hope to hit a land here, or a Lotus Petal. Or I could hit another 1-drop. That's also fine. Alright, pass. Eldrazi Temple. Let's hope we don't get Thought-Knot Seared. Land. Oh, come on, deck! Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to play out a little fog here and also hopefully find a land. No, no lands. God damn it. Alright, put those two away. And then my plan is going to be to win with Lines Out Diamond and Jace the Mind Sculptor. The Mind Sculptor. Jace the thing. Come on, land. God damn it. Okay, I guess I pass here. They probably have a Kolaghan's Command. Or Kozilek's Command? Nope. Okay. What do they have over there? It's the Line Breaker? Sure. So I think I'll have to get in front of this, and because I also want my thing in the graveyard. Land. No! Oh god. Alright, let's get rid of this personal tutor. Alright. That heralds the end. The problem is I'm dead to a not consigned to memory, Kozilek's Command here. And I guess also Disruptor Flute. One chance, one land. Alright, I want Force of Negation here for Chalice. And like 1 or 2 Brazen Borrowers. I don't want the Cling to Dust. Maybe I just want 1 Force of Negation on the play. I'm not sure. I really don't feel like boarding a lot here. I think I'm gonna just board in the 1 Force of Negation. Like, Flusterstorm is good versus Kozilek's Command. Thoughtseize is good on the play to take like a Chalice or something, so... Yeah, I guess I keep this, but I'm not thrilled. Glaring Fleshraker and a lot of mana and a Cavern of Souls. Okay, I'm gonna take the Fleshraker. They actually have nothing right now, but the first relevant Eldrazi they draw is gonna be really good for them. It's an Eldrazi Temple. Come on, a cantrip. Yes. Alright. Brainstorm. Save me. Yes, that counts. Get rid of Jace and one of the forces. And fetch Underground Sea, cast Personal Tutor. Get Doomsday, pass. There's the Cavern. And here's a Line Breaker. How does this work? So I take 4, and then I go to 6 off of Doomsday, and they basically can't have another creature or I'm dead. But waiting is not gonna do me any good here, so... And let's see, do I want to do a Jace win in case they have like Kozilek's Command? I think so. Alright, so let's see. We draw Brainstorm, and then Brainstorm into Edge Jace LED. Put back blank from hand and Jace. The deck is 3 cards big. We draw Jace, and we win. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, I think I have to Force of Will a Lotus Petal here, but I'm not sure. Like right now, they are making 3 mana. That becomes 4 with Secluded Courtyard, 5, 6 with Petals. Oh no, they had a creature. Alright, I'm dead. Good times were had by all. Round 3 on the draw. This is a definite mulligan. And this is great. I love everything about this hand, so let's keep it. And I think I get rid of Thoughtseize. My thinking here is I want to be able to Force of Will and probably keep hold of a cantrip if I need to. Tropical Island into Green Sun Zenith. So a Nadu deck, no doubt. This could also be a Endurance deck. I'm going to cast Brainstorm, or rather Doomsday here. Okay, so what do we want to be doing here? Passing twice in order to keep up Force of Will? Yeah, so we draw fetch land, cast one of our cantrips, then that draws us Edge of Autumn, we pass, then we draw Cavern and fetch. This is great. Yep. Island on the bottom, then Thassa, Cavern, Misty on top. Alright, pass. Something coming at me uncounterably is my biggest concern right now. Ponder. An innocent little Lorwyn Ponder. And they shuffle. Okay, so this is Nadu mid-range probably. They don't attack with the Dried Arbor. Why are we not attacking? Alright, let's draw the Edge of Autumn. And pass. Alright, opponent casts Brainstorm. 4 cards in hand are is it Endurance green card, Force blue card? Let's hope not. Alright, let's cycle this Edge of Autumn. Alright, I am going to fetch here in case they have 2 plows and a Force of Will. There's just no need to give them that little small out. We take game 1 against the Nadu deck. I am going to board in Emrakul and Sheldog Isle, and probably not a whole lot else. We could board in stuff against, like, we saw Green Sun Zenith, so Grafdigger's Cage, for instance, but not sure how madly in love I am with that. I think I board out Lion's Eye Diamond, or maybe it's just a couple of cyclers. I don't think we need 5 cyclers. That way, like, I've been warming more and more to this, like keeping in the Lion's Diamond and consider, because sometimes you just get to a point where you know what the opponent is holding and it's nothing, but they have lethal on board, and if you just had the ability to win in the same turn, you could win. Alright, this is a great hand, gonna keep it. Opponent mulligans to 6. Like, ideally, one of the ponders was a Dark Ritual, but you know, we can't have everything. We have to be careful about Veil of Summer with this Thoughtseize, so I'm just gonna ponder. Come on, Dark Ritual, Force of Will. Well, there's Dark Ritual, and I guess LED is nice. Apropos what we just talked about, we can win on the same turn with LED, potentially. Alright, they like what they found on top. They're just passing. Yeah, I'm not Thoughtseizing into this pretty clearly signaled Veil of Summer. Let's cast Ponder. We know Jace is on top. We don't want him, but I think I'll take another land, and I will pass. I think like maybe my best draw is a Flusterstorm. Okay, now they're doing stuff. Green Suns for X equal 1, sure. Probably get the what's it called? The Green Invitational. No, they get Delighted Halfling. Okay. So they can make their friend uncounterable next turn. Alright, now I'll take a Daze as well, because Daze lets me Thoughtseize sort of with impunity. Oh, and there's a Daze. Sweet. Alright. Well, let's see. Let's have a look at the damage here. Thoughtseize. Oh, they had the Veil. No kidding. Alright. Daze that. If they force this, then yeah, they do. Okay. I mean, oh, they forced my my daze. Rather, my Thoughtseize. That's very interesting. Now I don't think they can have anything that matters here. Days of their own, but I mean, we've got that covered. Alright. It was not a game for um, Emrakul and Sheldar Isle. And I think I'm just gonna cycle a couple of times. I'll hide my Emrakul. Actually, no, hang on. We need to be clever about this. They could have Surgical Extraction. That's like one card that could mess with things here. In that case, we want Ponder. And I'm just going to put the 2 Ponders on the bottom and then draw like Edge of Autumn into Street Wraith, and then Thassa. I know with Consider we could like empty our library, but I don't see it mattering. Alright, cool. 2 and 1, let's go for round number 4. Alrighty, on the play for round number 4. Yeah, let's keep this hand. I'm not going to play out Sewers here because I want to be able to brainstorm in the face of Thoughtseize. And we can brainstorm away the Sewers and then fetch it later for Surveilly goodness. Fellmire. Uh-oh. So this is Oops All Poops. And yes, I know that's infantile, but I'm going to keep saying it for the time being. Yeah, I'll take Flusterstorm. And I think I just pass here. There is Lotus Petal. Cabal Therapy. That's actually a little bit unpleasant. I think that can eat a Flusterstorm. And they pass. Alright, I think we fetch, or rather we can fetch the second Sewers. Do I brainstorm here? That was a punt. I don't think I was supposed to do any, like, fetch there. I was supposed to keep the fetch land. I'm going to brainstorm here. We could cast Doomsday, but I don't want to just do that. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put back second copy of Doomsday and Thassa's Oracle. And I'm gonna surveil the Thassa's Oracle, and then I'm gonna play Lotus Petal and just hope that my 2 dazes can carry me through here. Ideally, I only need to daze once. Okay. 7 cards, what's going on over there? I am banking on this not being like something else that actually can interact with me. I feel like Oops All Spells never plays out like this. They always send it on like turn 1. Yet here I am taking my 4th turn. Let's see. There was a pause. But I mean, I am going to just play as though this is Oops All Spells and win. Or attempt to anyways. Alright, we make the standard pile, the bread and butter. We put back a daze and consider. We do the consider thing, cycle the Street Wraith, and hopefully get to resolve Thassa. Well, opponent has put blue and black mana into their mana pool. And, oh, that's sweet. So, I guess I lose. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Memory's Journey. Now my deck is 3 cards big. Yeah, that was cool. They targeted Daze Undercity Sewers. Alright, GG's opponent. Oops, All Spells player being the control player there. Okay. Let's board in Grafdigger's Cage, Nihil Spellbomb, Force of Negation. Let's board out Jace. And like a cycler. And I'll board out 2 copies of Personal Tutor. So if they are on a creature pivot here, that could potentially bite me. I feel like that pivot is way better versus fair decks, but I don't know. I will keep this and hope that they were on the pivot. Or rather, that they're not. Here's a cage. What? Force of will? Alright. Force of will pitching Pact of Negation. I am confused. This is some oops tech that I have not really seen before. You'll be watching this at least, I think, 3 weeks after I recorded this, so by this time this might be more like mainstream, but okay, and then they pass. That's very interesting. I'm gonna Thoughtseize. It means taking down Force of Negation, but I think that's okay. Force Holy smokes. Alright. Force of Will pitching Memory's Journey. At least I won't be gotten by Memory's Journey, and then they pass. Oh fuck, I was supposed to surveil. Let's just play out this Cavern on Wizard here. Who knows, they might have Days in their deck. Probably not though. I don't see many islands. Alright, how about surveilling into Doomsday? How about that? No thank you. Oh, Flusterstorm is okay. The problem with Flusterstorm and Force of Negation is that neither of them counter any of their creatures. Jack-o'-lantern. Do I care about this? Exile up to one turn, draw a card. I mean, this I think is just gonna cycle, and then eventually do something from like make a mana from their graveyard. Days I like. Now I just want a Doomsday, please. Spirit Guide. Okay. Going down a mana or down a card here. All told, no, they spent 2 Spirit Guides to get this Jack-o'-lantern out and draw a card with it. Okay. Edge of Autumn. Soporific Springs. Dark Ritual. Utilizing the Jack-o'-lantern. I think I'm gonna Daze here. And then if they have a Spirit Guide, I'll probably Force of Negation that. Okay. They didn't. I picked up my Undercity Sewers here to get another Surveil. I draw land. I'm just gonna Surveil. Another Flusterstorm. I think 1 is enough of that effect right now. Alright, and I'll pass. Somehow it feels like they have way many more resources than they should have, like with all the cards in their hand, but I guess not. Alright, play out Flooded Strand. Now I have another Surveil land I can get. Would feel better with a Force of Will here. Okay. Thoughtseize. I will Force of Negation that. Alright, how about that Doomsday? Force of Will. I will take this Force of Will, but I do risk just falling into the trap of being the control deck that gives the combo deck infinite time to do what they want. Dark Ritual, okay. Undercity Informer. Alright, I will Force of Will that. They might have Reanimate next turn, we'll see. Gosh, I guess I'll keep this in my hand for if I draw Brainstorm. Now I am just dead to another creature here. Poxwalkers, okay. A 3/1 I will have to be able to handle. Come on, deck, deliver. I am painfully aware that I boarded out 2 personal tutors. Oh, yes, pay dirt. Okay. Oops, hang on. So I should be able to just win here and keep up Flusterstorm. Alright. Thassa, some cyclers. Alright, they concede, yeah. So let's see here. 2 Force of Wills. I wonder, yeah. I wonder if it's just by the skin of their teeth that they're able to support that with the blue count. They have the blue lands, but I once like messed around with a blue Belcher list that I was working on, and it was hard getting to enough blue cards, even with the blue MDFC lands. All right, does anything change here? I don't think so. I guess I'll keep this. Opponent is down to 6. Like, if they can send turn 1 through a force, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Mulligan to get 2 forces? I don't think so. Okay, I love that. That means now I can Flusterstorm their discard spell if they have one. Oh, but I have a cage. I think, honestly, I think I wait 1 turn so that I can. This way I keep open Flusterstorm plus Force of Will on this turn cycle, and then next turn cycle I can do the same but also have Grafdigger's Cage. I think like playing the cage now and they force it, it's a little bit awkward. It looks like they are just letting us get to our turn here. Sweet. I'm gonna surveil Dark Ritual. I'll take it, yeah. Alright, let's play a Grafdigger's Cage. They didn't like this last turn, last game, and forced it. That does appear to be what's happening now. I think I'll fluster that. Okay, cage is in. We have a Force of Will, but nothing else. Interesting. They sapped that in. Why do you want untapped blue mana? Let's cycle a Street Wraith here. And let's cast a Brainstorm. Get rid of Sewers and Polluted Delta, I think. And we pass. And I'm going to surveil the at end of turn here. They have Petty Theft or something. Value Straight Spy. Okay. So what am I missing here, team? They have some way to kill this Grafdigger's Cage. They're going to make mana off of the... Maybe they just target me and they have a 2-3. I'm going to let this enter play. It'll be a learning experience, I'm sure. No, they do target themselves. Alright, they get 2 Narcomoebas. Let's have a look here. Do they have something that can be exiled from the graveyard to kill an artifact? This can be exiled to add a mana. We can't stop that. What am I not seeing here? Lively Dirged. That's something else. I wish I was more in tune with these decks. So we get to see the whole like package here. I count 17 blue cards, 18 with a land in play, and they have 2 cards in hand. Alright, well, we will see what's going to happen here. Why is there a card left in their deck? What am I missing here? Oh, and I forgot to surveil in all my confusion. And I forgot to... Fuck. Yeah, okay. I could ponder here to look for a daze, because I do have, like, hardcast or pitch Dark Ritual. Let me just see. Again. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4 Force of Wills accounted for. 1 pact, 2 pact, 3 pact. I only see 3 pact of negation. Scary. I think I will. And then I should fetch first with one of these. Oh, what the hell am I doing? Jesus, I'm losing it here. I was in combat. All right, thankfully nothing too detrimental. Oh, or I could just win. Yeah, that's also a choice. Let's do that instead. I suppose I could. No, I boarded out the Jace. Yeah, that's right. We don't really gain anything from not sacking the LED, right? Because we'll just be sitting on a Force of Will. Let's put a Dark Ritual and another Doomsday in there. just in case. Dark Ritual Doomsday on the bottom, then Thassa, then the Cyclers. And I guess the fascinating storyline of what they were doing is not gonna play out here. I'm sorry about that. All right, cool. So we take the round 4 here versus Oops All Poopy Doops and the positive record insured. Let's go for round number 5. Okie doke. On the play for round number 5. Let's go. Yeah, I'll keep this hand. It is certainly acceptable, if unspectacular. Put a mulligan to 6. Okay, they found 6 they like. Let's Thoughtseize. Smallpox and Hogak and Double Wasteland. Yikes. Okay. Let's get rid of the Smallpox, and we have the Edge of Autumn to soften the blow a little bit off of that first Wasteland. The second Wasteland is potentially going to hurt, but we will have to make do. Okay, another Edge. Force of Will. I think I cycle the Street Wraith here. I would love to find a Dark Ritual. I don't think I want to Thoughtseize the Hogak into the graveyard. Eumidian, is that what it's called? Eumidian Hatchery, yeah. I could like Undercity Sewers, or I could just take my draw step and then fetch Basic Island, which I think I will. I draw Undercity Sewers. That's awkward. All right, come on, Brainstorm. Take me home, Country Road. Oh, that's yeah, that's tough. Let's. What do we do here? I think we put back. I think we put back Doomsday. We're gonna draw that eventually. And then I think, what do we want to mill over? Probably the Thoughtseize, actually. And then I will cast Cavern of Souls, and I will name Wizard. And that was not my plan up until like 2 seconds ago, because I wanted to play Undercity Sewers and mill over the Thoughtseize. They want to do the whole fun thing where they tap to put counters on it here. But then I thought maybe they'll Wasteland my my Cavern. Thoughtseize. Okay. They take Flusterstorm, sure. Do they Wasteland, or do they smell what's cooking here? I guess they don't. So now there's a Doomsday on top of the deck, which obviously I want. What's the plan here, Stan? I think I just play this out. I put Doomsday on top. They can Wasteland me, and then I will Edge, and our life will go on. Smallpox. I think I deem that worth a Force of Will. And here comes the Wasteland. Okay. I cycle. Now we need to find a Dark Ritual and a Black Mana Source. Ponder is a good start. Alright, so we need one turn where they don't Thoughtseize us, or play something else super duper scary. And looks like we get it. If they have like Opposition Agent, I am cooked here. I think I get Underground Sea because it means I will be able to cycle into Thassa no matter if they draw Wasteland. Alright, so we do have to, like, if they can somehow sack their 3 counter, which can become 4 counters, Hatchery, they will have 4 power, which is not ideal. I think I have to just bank on that not happening. So I will cycle to the end of the deck. Yeah. And if they sack the Hatchery end of turn, if they have Orcish Bowmasters, I'm also very dead. Alright, we got to their upkeep. They didn't sack the Eumidian Hatchery. We are still very dead to Orcish Bowmasters. We're dead to Wasteland plus Smallpox. They're passing. Okay, I don't have enough life points to Thoughtseize here, so I'm not going to. Alright, let's cycle. Do you have Bowmasters? No! They do. Alright, GG's. That is not beatable. That would have been beatable if I hadn't put the Street Wraiths in and just decided to put Thassa in play with 2 cards left in the deck. Eh. I don't see a lot of sense in sideboarding anything here, so I'm not gonna. Alright, let's see if we can do better here. This, unfortunately, is a mulligan. And I'll keep this. I'll keep this and I'll bottom Undercity Sewers. And then I'll hope to not get wastelanded and then put Doomsday on the stack next turn. I'm not going to play out the petals here. I don't want them to know that Doomsday is being cast next turn. So hopefully they'll like Thoughtseize me here and not wasteland. Oof. Yep, that backfired. Alright. I will just pass the turn here. Currency converter, okay. Land? Nope. Alright. We need one of the 14 lands in our deck that make black mana. And then we also need, or we would take a dark ritual. Probably has to be now. And it's not. Damn. Yep, I mean, sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I accidentally let that Bowmasters resolve. Now there's a Bowmasters in play. Yeah. This is this is me kind of losing it, I think. Thoughtseize, no, thank you. Lava Spur Boots, okay. So I take 3, I go to 15. Next turn they can make a, what would be a 3/3 construct that they can then equip. So 4, 5, 6 power. So I'm taking 6 at least next turn. But it didn't matter because I didn't draw land. Alright, too bad. GG's opponent. Alright, so a 3-2 record. We got absolutely pounded by Eldrazi. And then I think we ended up not really, I don't want to say like getting unlucky or that sounds like an excuse, but I do just feel like whenever I play Dark Ritual combo against Pox, I almost always win. It's like you get 5 discard spells thrown in your face on turn 1, and then eventually you just execute your combo and they're powerless to stop you. That's how it usually feels like. Like sometimes I feel like, you know, you're Neo in the Matrix, and at that scene at the end where the agents are like just completely like riddling you with bullets, but then you stand up and and do the thing. That's probably not correct. I've not tested like intensely versus Pox, but just whenever I was playing Storm, and this is the same with Doomsday, that's kind of what it feels like. But here we also got like pretty decisively beaten. Yeah, we took a chance with like keeping like bottoming a land rather than the Force of Will or blue card, and it cost us. All right, we did, however, have some good matches against like Dimir Reanimator and Nadu, which was fun, and yeah, the Oops All Spells was also interesting. Some cool things happened. So yeah, I think that's probably it for me. And thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the content. And I'll be back with some more Legacy. Bye bye.